Yo, hello everybody. Welcome back. Welcome again to my podcast, Hanging with the Force. Hanging with the Force basically is a platform where we talk basketball, we talk um, lifestyle in general, we talk entrepreneurship, we talk sports, and we just come here to have a good time and hear people's stories. Like everybody has a perspective from which they come from, and I we just use this platform, this hanging with the force to know people better. I mean, you might think you know them, but I mean, you might actually find out that there are other stories to them that actually make the experience unique. And today we have our guest, a basketballing legend, a lady that I really admire. Like the way she used to play the game, it was phenomenal. I mean, she has won like every award, and she's going to introduce herself. But her name is Coach Taye Adeniyi. She's also a coach, and she's also doing big things. She did big things as a player. Now she's doing big things as a coach. And she just won Coach of the Year with Crown Elite. I mean, this woman is she's just phenomenal, and we want to celebrate her. We want to hear her story. So let's bring up Coach Taye Adeniyi. There we go. And add in five, four, three, two, one. Boom. I need to get that timing right. I need to get it. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi.
Coach T. How you doing?
I'm fine.
It's good to see you. You're looking amazing.
Again.
Yes.
And you too.
Yeah. How have you been? How have you been? How's Lagos?
Well, we have been, Lagos has been there. Like, he's running Etasketa,
I I know.
hustling. That's Lagos
No,
life for you.
that stops in Lagos, man. It never stops.
Yeah.
So I want to welcome you to to this podcast. It's called Hanging with the Force. I am the Force. Can you raise your camera up a bit? I can't see your face.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you see my face
Hi,
now?
a bit higher. Yes, much better.
Okay, higher
Yes.
like
Okay.
this.
No,
Like
lower,
this.
lower. Too high, too high.
Okay, it's too high now.
All right, that's okay. Right, that's perfect.
It's okay
Yes,
like
it's
this.
okay like that. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So welcome to my podcast, Hanging with the Force. And please, I mean, can you just introduce yourself, if you can, in your own words?
Oh, all right. Um, those Mr. Adeniyi, an international player.
Mhm.
I play for the Tigers.
Okay.
Some years back, and now I'm a coach with the First Bank team
Whoa.
in Lagos.
All right. Amazing. The first bank that you guys built as players. You know, I
Yeah,
remember, I remember, I remember those days when we used to come for final for final night. I would watch you guys, or you guys would come for your tournaments, and you were shooting threes from like basically doing everything.
I'm trying to follow you, to follow your step,
Story.
because you are hot. Then you were very hot at that time too,
Thank you
you know.
so much. Thank you so much. So I have so many questions for you that right now I'm going to ask you just a few questions, just
Okay.
freestyle. Have fun with it. We're here to have a very good time. You know how we do.
Yeah.
Okay. Basketball. I mean, what triggered you to actually say, you know what? I don't want to play 10-10, or I don't want to be doing fine girl, even though you're fine. You know what I mean? What made
Man, I
you?
used to be fine.
I know you still got it. Yeah. So what triggered your interest in basketball?
Wow. Well, I got into the game during my secondary school days.
Okay.
Through one of my senior
Okay.
back then. He came to introduce the game to us in my school,
Okay.
and then even then we don't have the basketball court in our school.
Okay.
And then, to shock you further, I've never heard anything about basketball at that
At
time.
that time.
I've never seen the way even they play, how they play the game. I don't know whether they play with the head or they play with the leg or something.
I know.
But I'm the kind of girl at that time that love to be involved in anything activities in
Okay.
school. If you are dancing, you will see me there. If you are playing, if you're doing theater, you see me there. So when they now brought this game, and I said, oh, I must be part of this game, even though I don't know how to play it. And so I joined, and from there, we usually train at the stadium.
Okay.
Ondo State Stadium at that time, because we don't have a basketball court in our school.
Yeah.
So that's where we train. I think we train twice or 3 times in a week.
Okay.
So I joined the school team, and actually when I joined, I just want to play for the fun of it.
Okay.
I didn't even know that I would play to this height. I thought just to enter into the game just for the fun of it. So, and then people were now saying that, wow, you're playing well, you're cool, I love your game. And I have to take a second look at the game, like, wow, I can do something, I can, do better than what I'm doing now. So I stuck into the game, and I fell in love with the basketball. So that's how I start my basketball journey, and I began to play for my school, and I was the game prefect in my school, and then I would begin to travel from one town to another to play school games, So from there, I joined the Ondo State team.
Wow.
So that's how I found myself. The journey just started like that.
That's an amazing story. I'm sure almost 80% of the people who watched you play do not even know this story. they did not know this side. They just saw you flying on top of everybody.
They don't know where I'm coming from.
Yes. Okay, like I wanted to ask, early influences, you say was your prefect, that your senior that actually brought, what were your fondest memories, like when you started the game? What was like one memory that you see and you remember and you're like, wow, I remember this.
As that early, yeah. I have to tell you that my fondest memory was the first time I went to Lagos from my town, from Akure, from Ondo State. Then I started in Ondo State. I went to primary school, secondary school, and then they asked us to come and play under 17 tournaments sponsored by Vitamons.
Okay.
And that was my first time coming to Lagos. This should be around 1988. Thereabouts.
Yeah.
And they asked us to come and play, and I played the game. Even the man that introduced the game to us in our school was there too.
Yeah. Wow.
So we played the game. I played so well that everybody was like, "Wow, where do you see this small girl?" Because I looked so smallish.
Yeah.
And my body was so small. Like of course, I don't have the height.
Yeah.
And then after the tournament, I was being given MVP. That was my first most valuable player award. That really touched me. Like, wow. So that means I'm doing great. So I will never forget. I've won several awards after that, but this one meant a lot to me because that was my first MVP.
It was your first MVP.
Award.
I know everybody always remembers that first accolade. Everybody always remembers that. Wow. So, and you're coming to big Lagos, you know what I mean? Wow. So now we know that you are a pioneering member, one of the pioneering members of First Bank. When you guys took the nation by storm, you were just winning everything. It was as if the basketball tournament na formality. Enter and go out. Yeah. So I mean, what was it like when you joined First Bank? But before then, did you play for any other clubs?
Of course, I played in the Dolphin.
Okay, Dolphin.
Although then they called them Eco Flyers. Now it's Dolphin. They called them Eco Flyers at that time, but they've turned it now to Dolphin team. I played there for a while. Then after I joined the police team, which I played for the police team. And then I now switched on to the First Bank.
First Bank.
And I set goal for myself because I really want to be play in the national team. So that was what prompted me to make sure that I strive to enter First Bank, because back to your question, everybody's looking up to join First Bank at that time because First Bank is dominating the whole team, the whole Nigeria.
Yeah.
And then with this kind of teammate I have at that time, I have so much confidence to play with them.
Yeah.
Anytime we are playing in tournaments, maybe we have a game today, when I look at the set of players, a set of teammates we have that were together, it gives me confidence. Because everybody's spiced up, everybody has they are unique in their own way,
Yes.
There's someone that can shoot 2 points is there, someone that can take the ball inside, that can, block, rebound, and all that.
Yeah.
They're there, so we are complete. So we all have flavor. You understand? So it's really gives me joy and honor to be among those people at that time.
Yes. That's amazing. That's amazing. I witnessed a lot of that. So I know exactly what you're talking about. I remember you and Coach Shaw, you and Shola, you people were like Steph Curry, and what's his name? Klay Thompson.
Yeah,
people were dangerous. two woman tag team.
Like you there,
Yes, yeah. Thank you so much. I'm flattered.
Yeah.
Okay. Your like you said, your fondest memories, like during your playing career, like when, of course, you talked about your fondest memory when you were still a teenager. Yes. What are some of your fondest memories during your playing career?
Wow. I have so many, but this particular one that really touched me was this. We were playing. I can't remember the team we were playing with. This is happening in the national team here in Lagos. I had a ball with me, and I was at the line, very close, and someone was playing defense on me.
Okay, 3 points or free throw? 3 points.
On the 3-point line, at the sideline, Okay, so I backed the basket. I backed the courts.
Okay.
And I was with the ball, and the person was overplaying. When somebody's overplaying on defense.
Yeah.
So it was like, no, you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. So it was just like that, and I backed the game, the courts. So I saw one of my teammates running for fast break. Going on the transition, like she wanted the ball, but I can't face her, because if I face her, I won't be able to pass, because that person was like all over me. You know? So right there, just the way I am, I just threw the ball from the back. Threw it from the back straight, and the ball went straight to my teammates. And she went for a layup.
Wow.
Everybody in the ball just stood up. We're like, wow. So I asked myself, like, how did I do that?
The place scattered.
Like, I never believed that I could do such things. So, I really, really appreciate that. I really, really appreciate that.
That's amazing. I mean, there are always some of these plays that always stick out as a player in one's head and everything. I totally understand that feeling. I understand that feeling. Okay, like during your you played of course you played for the national team, so many times. I mean, I have some. Okay, there's African Cup of Nations, all African games in Zimbabwe, Johannesburg, in Nairobi. There's WAU Club Championships in Brazil, Senegal, Abidjan, Mali, Australia. The list goes on and on. So I'm sure it's going to be tough to ask you what your fondest memories were as a national team player, but at least you can pick one or two.
So I can't forget. There's another one that I had. This is when we went to Bamako, Mali.
Okay. Bamako, Mali, yes.
The club championship, women's club championship.
Yes, that was in 2005, right?
Exactly. I've never. People have been saying, "Oh, 3-point." People don't even call me my name. Most people don't even know my name. They call me by what I do. They call me 3-pointer. Some people call me Uku and all that. So
yes.
People know that I shoot a lot, but that particular game, I will never forget, because I've never shot like that before since I've been playing basketball. I shot 6 3-points in a row. It's like on the jump ball, the first pass came to me.
Yes.
I shot the 3 points.
Yes.
We went back to defend at home. We're coming back. Other pass comes straight, 3 points. Back to back, like 6 times in a row. I've never shot like that before.
Wow.
Like when you're playing, definitely, you can say, okay, after the whole match or the particular game, you score like 7 3 points together by the time you calculate together. But this very one, it was like back to back, like in a row. Go back, come back to defend, 3 points, go back again, and wow. And I said, wow, this is really, really, really. I mean, everybody was like, did you use something? Is there somebody used something on your hand or something? You know, even me,
you tell your hand.
I don't know how, but I was just shooting. I was just having fun. You
Hmm.
know, so I would never forget that too. I will never forget
Wow. Wow. You know what's funny is like I I don't I don't mean to would you how do you compare the work ethic of like you when you used to play and the players of nowadays? I mean, do you think the work ethic is the same, or do you think there's room
Mm.
for improvement?
It's not the same. It's not the same because you know during our time we don't have this
Yeah.
telephone, all this. You have iPhone, you have all this kind of phone, so no
Yeah.
distraction. You know,
Very true.
we
That's
focus on our game. We focus on our training. I love training. You know, I
yes.
love to train. I love to work out,
Same
and
here.
it's really, really working. And you can see the showing in my game. So
Yes.
then we don't have phone, nothing to distract us. But nowadays,
Mm.
most of the people that we have now, um, you know, you can't compare to when we were playing because most of them they don't
Very.
really enjoy training, personal training. I mean,
Mm.
you know, and then this
Mm.
phone that we are talking about it has become an obstacle to a lot of players. Most of them they don't have time to rest after training. They don't even remember to like, oh, let me go and work on myself because of the same phone. So it's a
Mm.
huge major distraction in the life of the
Mm.
players that we have these days.
Wow. Wow. You hear that, young players? Young players, you have to stay focused. You have to stay focused. Like there was a time I went to watch basketball in Abuja. I saw all the kids. This one they didn't only come with phones though. They came with boombox. They came with
What?
boombox. They just put the thing there.
Oh,
I was looking
can
at
you
it.
imagine?
I'm telling you.
Wow.
I'm telling you. So I mean, yes, the distraction is so plenty. And what I actually what makes me wonder is that okay, back in the day, if you wanted to get training, let's say tips, you'd
Yeah.
have to buy it. They have to send a cassette from the US, or
Wow.
somebody will have to come and train you. Now they can actually go on YouTube and see things
Exactly. Too
and
easy.
learn, but they don't. You know, it's crazy. But hey, young guys, it's not as if we're attacking you. We're just trying to tell you the truth. Listen from a legend right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Wow.
Okay, okay. Now, what was the? Of course, we talked about some of the best parts of your career, but let's talk. What was some of the worst parts of your career?
The
You
worst part time.
you know,
Wow.
sometimes we know life is not just it's not always good.
Well, my worst time during my time was I think 2003 during the All African Games, the one they played in Abuja.
Yes,
I think they call it Koja, you
Kojak.
know, at that time. Then when
Yes.
we were in camp,
Yeah.
we were in camp in Zaria. I think we were in camp for like 3 months, and I sustained this deadly injury. I got my knee twisted backward. I thought it was a joke. I thought it's something that I could just work on and go back to the game. I didn't know it took me away from, you know, from the competitions
The
and
competition.
from other competitions. We
Hmm.
managed to go to Cuba for training tour during that All African training.
Yeah.
We got there, they examined the leg, they were treating the leg, and still they said at 6 months, you know,
Hmm.
and it really got to me because I've prepared for this All African game. I've prepared personally, individually. I've really worked hard. Like I'm going to play well in this tournament. So we came back to Nigeria, and I was being dropped. You know, I don't want to mention the
Wow.
coach that was there at that time, but I was
I
being
know,
dropped,
right?
and then it's like as if they stabbed me in my heart. Like, you know, you've been playing for the national team for a while, and
Yeah.
then something just happened to you, and they just it's like
They
you being used
write
physically.
you off.
That's how I felt. Like,
Mm.
oh, even a coach, one big coach told me that saying if he was the coach at that time, he would ask me, even with the POP on my leg, with all this bandage on my leg,
Mm.
he would give me that respect for me to sit on the bench while the game was going on.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
I felt so
Mm.
bad. Like I've been dropped for how many years? I've been playing for over 20 years. I've been playing for the national team. You know,
Mm.
I've never talked about it. I've not
Mm.
had the opportunity to talk about it, and I'm still going to talk about it because
Yes, please,
so that it will not
please
reoccur
talk
again
as
for other
much as
players.
you need. Mm.
Yeah, I have to talk about it because, you
Yes.
know, you see a lot of, you know, injury. You can't. Nobody's praying for injury. You know that.
Yes.
And you see some of our players now, they are playing. You can't rule it out. It can happen at any time. So how do you deal with this? How do you deal with it? Because it's so saddening that you've been playing for the national team for a while, and something like that happened in the process. Not that you brought it from home. This happened during the All African training camps.
When you're serving your country.
And that has to go without treatment. That is more painful. They didn't even bother to okay, what do we do to this leg? It was First Bank. The First Bank that took upon themselves that took me to India for a surgery. So I felt bad that I've been dropped. And after that same year, they played three international competitions. Yeah. I couldn't be part of it. Wow. So it was a very, 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 very heavy time for me. So I don't think I can forget that. I don't think I can forget that. So I just pray that Nigeria will look at people who get injured, because either we like it or not, athletes get injured. So how do you tackle it? How do you solve it? How do you get them back to their feet again without discussing them, without telling them to go to their house? It's very important.
It's like, if you remember, I think we were in that camp together. I remember when that Koja camp. I remember when you got the remember when you guys were going to Cuba? I hugged the whole bus.
Yeah.
I was hugging all
remember.
At the same time. And what's funny is that something like, for me, I really understand what you're saying, because something like this happened to me. I was playing for a team. I won't call the name, and I injured my knee. You understand? And when I injured my knee, guess what they did? They sacked me.
Can you imagine?
Yes, I mean, and this goes on. This has been going on in our basketball, and it's one of the reasons why I started this podcast. Not for anything. I didn't come here to interview and say, what is your name? How many? It's for people to tell their stories. You know what I mean? To tell their stories, to open up their hearts so that people know what's going on and find a way for us to rectify this situation. Thank God you brought this up, because I mean, I want to ask, okay, but before we go into deeper things, let's talk about how you transitioned into coaching.
Wow.
We're still going to revisit this again. You understand? this happening in Nigeria.
The same passion that makes me continue to play basketball is the same passion that took me to coaching, because I love kids. I love young ones, and I want to see them excel. I want to see them doing well. And I now find out you can't just let's go basketball like that. Yeah. I need to impart what I've learned, my experience and all that, and put it into the life of these young ones coming, and especially those ones that love the game. Yeah. So because of the passion I have and the love I have for the game, that's really took me to coaching. I had to go for coaching school in NIS. Besides, I read physical and health in school back then in OAU University.
Okay, sorry.
So
before you continue, you said you had to go and get certification in NIS, right?
Exactly.
Now, please, can you tell? There are a lot of young coaches who don't understand the importance of getting certified, because I mean, it's not as if they go and teach you guys play or basketball in NIS or anything. But I think just for job opportunities, please just say a little bit about that. Then you can continue.
Yeah, it's very important that all coaches get to that point where they have to go for coaching course. Yeah. No matter how small. Because I remember the experience I had some years back. I was coaching in one big school, Green Spring, they call them, in Lagos, in Antony. I coached them for 3 years. Okay. So I was there 1 year. The second year, they brought in new principal to that school, one white man, and the man demanded for all the coaches there, because they have coaches in football, they have coaches in basketball, they have coaches in swimming, in volleyball, in athletics, in table tennis. They have coaches, two coaches in each sport. And can you believe that half of those coaches in that school, they don't have certificates? Wow. And this new principal came in and brought new idea that all the coaches sent their certificates. So they have to sack virtually all of them.
Wow.
Those that doesn't have certificate, they have to sack them and look for those that have been satisfied. So it's very important that no matter how small, we need to have it. We need to have it. You can't just say, oh, because I know the game, I can coach and all that. You have to complete. It's very important.
It's true.
Yeah.
Hey, people, I want to tell you, me too, I have NIS certification. I'll show you guys. It's a small one, but at least I have it. So continue.
But you're talking about. You are using it for your.
Don't worry, the time will come. The time will come to use it. Maybe you show me how. So you were saying you stopped at you said you love coaching kids. You love especially the ones that like to that love the game.
Exactly. Yes. To impart knowledge into them, to make sure that they do well. Like what that's what I also went through. So I want them to do well. So I have an academy also.
Okay.
I'm sure I didn't tell you that. I have an academy where I have from age 3, from age 3 to 20.
Wow.
So I have academy at Taye Adeniyi Basketball Academy.
Yeah. That's amazing. I started a small. I love kids too, so I started a coaching program it's called Easy PC Basketball. I started for kids. It's not, of course, it's not as big as it's from ages like you said 3 to 12, because I think when they are that age, they absorb everything that you give them, and then they don't have any bad habits. They haven't learned any. Yes,
that's the key point. You shift their focus away from the, from all those hanging around with bad people, all those bad influence.
Yes.
And all those things. Yeah, it's very important.
True.
Very important.
Okay, so you said you have an academy for kids from 3 to 21. Wow, how long has it been running?
For like almost 3 years now.
Almost 3 years. And okay, let's go into that. I mean, what are the challenges? I mean, I know it can't be easy, What I know, and we already know all the gratification and the advantages. But what are the challenges running an academy like this?
Yeah, well, the challenges is once you have your own ground, your own venue, it's become very difficult, Sam. Because right now I'm using the First Bank courts for my program, but I'm still open in future that I'm going to have my own ground. It's comfortable for everyone to come in and play, because when you come there sometimes, we want to train, the team want to train, and we won't be able to use the place to train. So so those are the challenges, that we need facilities, and I think that's the major challenges that we have for now. But it's not easy, because it's easy for me because I love what I'm doing. So I love what I'm doing. I love pushing kids. You must be patient. If you're taking kids, you must be, patient. You must have understanding. You must come down to their level. You must show them what you've got, because you can't just be using your mouth and say, oh, do layup, do this and all that. They need to see it. You have to show it to them, and they will like, wow, and they will respect you. They will say, oh, if you can do it, I can do better. So, and you have to make it fun, So it's cool. It's cool with me. So the major challenges we have is the ground, the training facilities.
Okay. Let me make an enter pigeon first. Maybe you be the coach. Maybe you be the coach.
Yes, I know.
I know you like to follow due process and everything.
Exactly.
Yes. So like when you're coaching, when you're coaching, especially like the youth and everything, what's like your coaching philosophy? There's some coaches that just what's your own coaching philosophy?
Well, to me, I love first I believe in fundamental.
Okay.
Once you have fundamental, the game from the beginning, and then it should be able for you to be able to say, because for me, I love fast break.
Yeah.
I love moving the ball. Just keep moving the ball, running type of game. That's what I love. I don't want dog game. I don't want this kind of, but with wisdom, with you have to be smart. You can't just be running up and down. You can't just be passing and be running and be doing nonsense. So you must be cool, here, and you must be smart. So I love this kind of game that keep running the team, running the game, and that's kind of coach I am.
Yes,
that's kind of the coach I am.
I actually love the fast break too, because I mean, why allow the defense? Why allow the defense to set? I mean, and two, I think people love watching a very quick game, like you said. People love, really love. Yeah. So don't you face financial challenges like running the academy? Are there any financial challenges? Abi you get one money where they sit down for inside bank.
Sometimes I do go to an individual. I do go to an individual for sponsor. An individual. I have some individual, but I don't want to mention their name right now.
No. I
used to go and meet them.
Next, you'll see me the wrong. You'll see me the wrong one big academy for just.
Exactly. So I have an individual that is always trying to put one or two things for the academy to move on. So I really appreciate those people that have been like a backbone, for me. So for now, that we are doing well. For now, we are doing well.
Please, I want to thank Mr. Individual Man. Thank you for the support. The support you're showing.
Thank you so much, Mr. Individual.
For the development of basketball. Okay. Now we're going back to the game. Okay, the question. Okay. For someone who has been around the game of basketball as a player, both as a player and as a coach, what do you see as the challenges in Nigerian basketball? First of all, I wanted to ask, what do you see as the challenges and how do you think we'll solve them? But let's start with the challenges. Please, speak freely. Speak as much as you can. We all know that you know.
We have a lot of challenges that even you, the whole world, everybody, basketball family knows what the challenges are in Nigeria. Except if you are not into basketball, because of this factions issue. Basketball has been laid off for a long time. It has been on standstill. And as a coach, imagine training your team and no competitions. It will get tired and there will be no motivation from the team, also from the players. They will tell you like, what are we training for? And then imagine that if you have a complaint or someone that is sponsoring that team, and you expect that person giving or putting money into that, you will not put money because you find out that there's nothing going on. Thank God for First Bank that they are established and they can pay your salary every month, even though there's no basketball.
There's no basketball.
For like 4 years, no basketball. So they kept paying, even though they complain sometimes. But they didn't stop paying. But what about other organizations, other complaints that they have to stop paying their salary, paying their players because of nothing happening in Nigeria. So the major issue that we have is this factions of a thing that's not making the basketball in Nigeria to move forward. And I just hope that everything will end because I don't know what we can do about it. I don't know what we can do about it, honestly.
I can't even. I just thank God. I thought back when I was playing, I thought basketball was bad then. But when I see what's happening now, I actually look back and say, well, the lucky ones. At least we got to play.
Exactly.
We got to play because you see a player, maybe look at a player who is like maybe. Well, I was talking to Coach Umar the other time. Umar Bala, I interviewed him too, and we said something like, imagine a player who is in his prime. Maybe you're like 23, when you're like 24, 25. Then for 5 years, you don't play. Like what's happening now? By the time you start playing again, you're in your 30s.
Already, yeah.
Already you're in your 30s, So, I mean, it's.
Do you know that? Sorry to cut you. Do you know that? Most of our players, everyone was moving out from the country. Yeah. So, are you going to stop them? You can't stop them because you can't offer them anything. Some of them are leaving. Most of our players. Most of them are moving. They're leaving because nothing is happening in Nigeria. So those are the things that's really, creeping basketball growth in Nigeria.
You're right.
So it's not moving forward. And if you come to watch basketball, if you come to watch our league now, you will almost, vomit Why? Because the people that are supposed to be playing the game, they're all move out.
They have
So we have
they are moved out.
most of them are, so they're no more interested. The females are getting married. Some are, going to look for job and all that. So, and those that still remaining are still waiting for basketball to come back. They are rusty. So when you watch our game now, you can't compare it to when we are playing. So it's really frustrating, honestly. It's really frustrating.
It's disturbing. Like, okay, you said something about players moving out. So let's talk about your pro career playing outside Naija. Where and which countries were you in? Were you in which clubs, or were you in outside the shores of this country?
Which country? That's what?
Which countries did you play? Did you play in? I know you were in Greece.
Yeah. Yes, I played in Greece and I played in Cyprus.
Okay. You played in Cyprus, yes.
Cyprus.
Okay.
I was in Greece for 3 years.
Okay, for 3 years. And let's talk. Let's keep the basketball aside. What's Greece like as a country? Did you like the food?
The food in Greece?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Greece is where you can eat their food because they have their own local food, and they have continental. They have all those things. So if you don't want to take the local food, you can as well, go to the continental, or you can go into the African shop where you can get your own food, your own Nigerian food, where you can cook yourself. So this is okay and it's beautiful.
Which one did you prefer? The continental, the local, or the African food?
Well, I prefer the I prefer the continental, and I prefer my
okay. And then, okay, you said you're also in Cyprus.
Yeah, I was in Cyprus for like 6 months.
It was like 6 months. Wow.
Yes.
And you said you stayed in Larnaca, and I remember I told you I also stayed in Larnaca, Cyprus.
You went to school then, right?
Yes, I did. I did a year of school in there, but then I transferred. Yes.
But I met so many Nigerians there and Ghanaians. Ghanaians and Nigerians are more there. Most of them are at school at that time. Yes, most of them are school at that time.
I went for schooling, but that one was just the school now part of hustle.
Yes.
Did you used to go and swim in the Mediterranean Sea there, but you never entered?
That's cool.
Yes, I was always there. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so you said if right now you're supposed to help resolve the problems that is going on in our Nigerian basketball, like, what would you do? Like, what would you do? What would be the first step you take? Sorry, I didn't.
You have to resolve it.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand. If you have to resolve it.
Yes.
Well, I don't know, because I think we need to have group of people, or someone that is selfless.
Yes.
Someone that is not biased. Someone that is who is able to sacrifice for the love of the game.
Just like you did.
Someone that loves the game, that is able to sacrifice. That will not say, oh, someone like me or someone like you coming to organize basketball, that will not say, why are you doing this? Because it's all about the game. It's all about the game. Everyone wants to have fun. Everybody wants to play basketball.
True.
So you can't just come from where you are and not say, okay, I want to organize basketball because basketball is not moving forward or something, and you need to have more, vibe to the game.
True.
And you come to organize the game, and then someone is somewhere not saying that it can't happen. So we don't need someone like that. We need people that are selfless, people that are able to, like, okay, I can contribute to the growth of the game in this country. So those kind of people we are looking for. People that are able to sacrifice. People that love the game. People that are not self-centered. This kind of people that we're looking for.
Amazing.
So until you have those kind of people, I bet you nothing will happen in Nigerian basketball. Nothing will happen in Nigerian basketball.
You're so right. You're so right. You're so right. And I only think I thank God that people like you, and so many other people around are actually trying to create a better basketball atmosphere by bringing up young kids. But like you said, if our governing bodies don't get it right, then there's a problem. Then there's still a problem, you know.
Exactly.
It's part of the reasons why you know, we're having this kind of discussion, so that people can actually get to know. I get to pick your brain, you know, and understand from your wisdom, from your experience, you know, with all that you have gone through, you know, you definitely would have something to say to that would actually help, you know. So I want to ask you I'm going to ask you a very tough question. You understand? So arrange yourself. Arrange yourself well. Okay. You know, back when you were playing.
Yeah.
Back when you were playing, you know, I mean, traveling abroad was very hard.
Very hard.
That time, if somebody gets a visa, your whole family, your whole village people will come. You understand? You'll do Thanksgiving.
Very right.
Thanksgiving service. Right. You know? But now you see people when they're traveling, they're even you know, they're even dodging. They'll just dodge. They don't move. You understand why? Because right now there's that time it was military rule. You know, our democracy, or later on it was our democracy was young. Now you know everybody in basketball, especially with the women's game, everybody thought that if anybody was to travel, if anybody was to be the first person to travel, the first person to make the WNBA, everybody said it should have been Taye. You know what I mean? If they said, choose one player that should go and play WNBA or go and play in the top leagues in Europe, they would have said it's Taye. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
Yes, you know, and sometimes things don't happen the way we expect. Next thing you see maybe girls who watched you play, who you even show them one or two things. You understand? Yeah. Who maybe some of them are not even as good as you. They're the ones getting those opportunities. I know it must hurt, but I mean, how do you feel about it?
How do
you feel about it? Do you say, man, it's one of those things, man, or like, yo, I'm happy for them, or somewhere in your heart are you like, I feel like dating myself?
Yeah, I don't know, because when I started playing for First Bank, I set a goal for myself.
Yes.
I set a goal for myself, and that's what I kept telling my team, my players here, that you need to set a goal for yourself. You need to work on yourself. So I set a goal for myself, like I want to play in the national team. I want to play. You know, you have to set a goal for yourself as a player. Like, okay, in 2 years, where am I going to be? In 3 years, where am I going to be?
Where am I going to be?
You know, in 6 months, am I still going to be using left hand or right hand or something like that? You need to set a goal so that it will keep you on your feet.
Yes.
To work on yourself, it will motivate you. So when I set a goal for myself, I want to play in the national team, and I want to play in Europe. I want to go and play professional basketball. Yeah. Everything works out. I want to play in the WNBA. That alone didn't work out. It didn't work out because I traveled to Greece. When I was in Greece, of course, I played there, play for the national team, play abroad. Everything was okay, and then I got from I-20 from Oklahoma University. That was two of my players, of my teammates then.
Yeah.
They were in that school.
Okay.
So I think the coach sent me from I-20 for me to get my visa to go to Oklahoma. Yeah. And now, because somebody said that if you don't enter school, that if you're not, you know, if you're not in any college school, it will be difficult for you then. I don't know now.
Yeah. No, then yes, very true.
To be drafted into the WNBA, you know. So, and I said, well, I must strive to enter that school, Oklahoma school. So they gave me the form I-20. I went to the embassy. They denied me visa. You said something earlier that it's very hard to get visa at that time. I must tell you that it's very hard. It's not now that America is like a dustbin, that everyone's just going and come out like.
Everyone's just going there. Everyone's just enter.
You know, at that time it was very difficult. Even with my for my 20, with everything I have, with all these things, they said no. I felt so bad, as in very bad. So that they gave me Format 20 twice to tell you how hard I really want to play in WNBA. So when I was in Greece, I don't have the what do you call this paper? The this
work permit
paper, like that. I don't know what they call it at that time.
Okay, work permit.
So,
stay paper as well.
Exactly.
Is it work permit?
So, yes, permits. Yeah. So I had to like, what am I doing in Greece? Is it I'm just playing? I want to play WNBA. So right from the Greece, I was talking to this coach in Oklahoma, and they now said I have to come back to Nigeria for me to be able to obtain my visa.
Okay.
So and I said, well, I have to go back to Nigeria. So all my friends in Greece at that time, you know, some of them, we have some basketball players in Greece, and they said, "You don't go back. If you go back, you will be able to come back again to Greece. If you go back now, you know, you don't have to stay now, and they want to give paper in a few months to come. Please don't go now." I said, I have to go because I want to play in WNBA. So and I told them in the embassy, you know, that will be coming and all that. They gave me the time for interview to come there in a student interview and all that. So when I came back to Nigeria, I went for interview in American embassy, and they still gave me, you know, they said no.
Wow.
If I felt like dying, I felt like, what is going on? Because in my passport, it shows that I play for the national team. I play all African games like twice. It shows that I'm a professional player. So and now I don't know why they reversed. They said because you are a professional player, can that happen? How is that, you know, be a problem for me not to, you know, for me to be denied visa? So they said because, you know, this was later someone now told me that I shouldn't have filled this thing. I should have shown all those things. I should have go with someone's bank accounts with huge amount of money inside the bank account, and maybe they will give me the visa. So I felt so bad. So, you know, that was the only obstacles that I had then that, you know, that prevents me not to enter into the WNBA.
Wow. You know, but without being said and done, there are very few players, there are very few ladies I know who have your resume, because your resume is full, and I think we're so proud of the career you've had, and not only that, the fact that you're also developing other young girls. I mean, if you had gone to the WNBA, only you, that would be one person, but now you can send like 40, 50, 60, you know, players into the NBA and the WNBA.
Yeah.
You know, it's been so wonderful. It's been so wonderful talking to you, Coach Taye. I mean,
so wonderful. It's an honor to be here.
Yes.
It's a privilege, the honor. I'm so excited to meet up with you again after a very long time.
After such a long time. You know, before when basketball was still going on, at least there will be a chance that would get to meet. Maybe you travel down or I travel down or something. But since everything is stagnant, at least now we can be meeting on my podcast. You know, I'm still gonna have you over on my podcast. I hope you'll be able to find the time. Thank you for finding the time to actually.
So much.
Yes.
Solomon, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
To be here.
Yes. Is there anything you want to say? Is there anything you want to say to your fans?
To my fans, although especially those that play basketball, that they should not just relent. They should just keep, you know, keep doing what they're doing. Yeah. And you know, I remember, I'm very sure that because the reason why we are in this show tonight was because of the award I got of recent from the Crown Elites. And I must say that thank you to the Crown Elites. Thank you that I'm finally being recognized and all that. So my advice to the fans is, don't know who's looking at you, don't know who's watching you. Just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep your game on. Just don't be lazy. Don't be slothful. Just don't think that, oh, nobody's encouraging me. Nobody's saying you are doing well. One day it will come, because surely it will come. So just.
Meanwhile, sorry, before we even go, because we're not on timer. The Crown Elite, you understand? Yes. Let's go back. The Crown Elite. I was so happy for you. You know, I mean, tell us all about it. Tell us all about how that started and how all that came about.
Well, Crown Elite has been assisting for, I think since about 2 years now. They joined the female team. They've been doing male before, and now they have joined the female, and which is so encouraging for the female basketball in Nigeria. And look at last year. Last year, no Zenith, no competitions. If not for all these individual people coming to organize basketball.
Yeah.
We had about 5 of them organize basketball last year from individual people, and they kept the fire burning. And I really want to say thank you to Crown Elite. I really appreciate that. And then we had the last competition we played last year. We won. We won the game. And then this year he did award which all-star game. And it's like it beautified the whole event. And I think this is the first time ever that we're going to have something like that in Nigeria.
That's true.
That's true. It was a wonderful thing. So, well, I don't know what to say more about that, but during the award, after the All-Star game, we went for the award nights. It was a big thing. It was a big thing. I must tell you.
I saw your beautiful dress, beautiful red dress.
On the red carpet. Everybody was looking so beautiful.
You're looking like the Queen of England. Where did they wave like this?
Honestly, I didn't even know that I'm going to receive anything on that night. Honestly,
are you serious?
I didn't know that I'm going to receive any award. I went to the restroom when they called my name. That's the best female coach of the year. I was like, wow! A lot of people came to rush and carry me into the hall. I was like, wow. So it was glorious. It was glorious.
It was all over the internet. It was all over Twitter. All over Twitter, all over Facebook, all over Instagram. Amazing. Yeah. And I'm so happy for you. And this I just want to say this is just the beginning of greater and bigger things to come.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Just
I'll
the
get
beginning.
in touch with you.
I'll
get in touch with you now.
All right,
so
no problem.
Yeah.
Okay, please have a wonderful night, Coach T. It's
you too.
All right,
pleasure.
See you.
Thank you.
We'll be in touch.
Right.
Bye. Yeah. Let's say this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end. We've come to the end of my this episode of Hanging with the Force, and you guys listen to the amazing, the incredible, the myth, the legend, the super guard, Taye Adeniyi, super coach, and I hope you guys got a lot from what we discussed about, and I hope you guys join this movement of what we're trying to do, what I'm trying to do, trying to bring basketball together, trying to take basketball and make it great. Basketball belongs to all of us. It doesn't belong to a few. It belongs to all of us. I mean, let's take basketball back. You know what I'm saying? Let's take basketball back and let's make it what it ought to be. Let's make it something that can benefit everybody and not just a few. You know what I'm saying? That's all I have to say. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of Hanging with the Force. And right now, the theme song. This is the theme song we're going. Bye.